together.
Oh, I am.
I'm having a carrot. I like carrot.
Hey, y'all. I'm Mama. Chris gave me that nickname in the late 90s when he came to New York City. He joined my partners and I at a studio on 12th Street in the Village. We had a great time there, and we made some beautiful music, and I can't even describe all the gifts that Chris bestowed on me and how great it was to make music with him.
You got something that's valid to me too, is the harmony things that happen in the first chorus for me seem a little loud. Not the doubles, but the top
Chris's
parts.
part.
And I tell you what too, primarily the last two lines more so than the first two lines.
The main thing I wanted to say to you guys was that to be with Chris in the studio or anywhere was to be with all of you. He just constantly talked about you all. And there was kind of a rivalry then because I'm from Detroit originally, so I would be like, oh yeah, well, check this story out.
Can everyone go through the tuner before we get too comfy?
And then he'd say, oh yeah, well, check this story out. And, you know, if we were in the studio working, it would be, you know, well, Scott would tell me to do this, and Jay would tell me to do this, and Doug would have done this, and
Mama Partridge.
So I felt like I had worked with all of you guys, at least a little bit.
How's the bass?
Great. Really.
Drums?
No problem.
Okay.
There's only two of them.
All right.
It's only kick and snare.
I was thinking about being with Chris. I was thinking about the things that we did together and talked about.
We're in a bit of a sub-problem.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Exactly.
And I just was struck by the width of his personality. You know, sometimes we would just get all philosophical because we were facing something, you know, facing some part of life that was scaring the shit out of us. And we just sit down and talk and like hash this stuff out, you know?
Have it, do that. Have it, do that, rock and roll.
1, 2.
Other times when I was with him, as you all described, he was just the funniest person in the world to be with. And laughing with him was a different kind of laughter. You know, it was freeing.
Forever in blue jeans.
Get it? I'm wearing blue jeans.
Get it? I'm wearing blue jeans.
Leave that shit. Don't play this note, where both your hands are off of the bass.
That one?
Yeah, don't do that one.
It was not ironic. It was just all about laughing about how we all are who we are, and we love each other for what we are, and that was what was so ultimately so funny, just being who we were.
Michael, we'll need to stay in constant communication.
And then other times being with him, it was all about business. It was all about making music and making a record.
Dude, why don't I really quickly just plug in will the jazz make a difference? Will the jazz,
that sounds great.
I know,
That sounds awesome. We should go with that.
All right.
It could be an internal thing too, Michael. It probably is.
All right, we're going to play this track down. Here we go. You know, he would bring in some weird instrument like an omnichord and say, you know, this is actually way better than a guitar. This is the coolest instrument in the world. What you got to do is you got to plug it into this pedal, and then plug it into this amp, and then make 2 tracks. And he would describe something that he and Jay and Scott had done in the past, and we'd come up with some permutation of that.
You can open your presents in the morning.
Then we'd hit roll tape, and he'd be on the pedals, and I'd be playing this omnichord that I've never played before in my life. And this amazing sound would come out, and it would just be like, holy cow, you know.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Right on, man. It's gonna be killer.
It's beautiful, and that was him, you know. It was just like, to make a record with him was like just blasting off. I can't even begin to think about all the stories, and all I can think about is all those different things he was, and how amazing it was to like feel any one part of those things.
Thank you all for being here. Wow. Beautiful. I love you now.
And about how he brought all of you with him. And I know he's brought all of us with him now. He's got all of us with him. And we feel him around us too. And Chris, buddy, we are blessed to have you, and we love you.
Do your best to keep it real.
Chris,
the only advice I've
Chris,
got.
there's a spider.
Look out!
Look! No, it's right in front of me.
Snake!
Oh, there.
Don't kill it, Mike. That's instant karma. You'll leave here and some man will gobble you.
Some big spider.
That scares me.
Later.